In this video, I talk about 25 digital marketing tools that I cannot live without and need them to run my businesses in 2020. And before I reveal the entire list, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Memorized the list. I have the list here and I'll read them out one by one and talking about their application. A lot of these tools are one-time payment and a lot of these tools are also recurring monthly payment. So with that you can calculate how much I spend in order to run my businesses as far as the tools are concerned. Alright, so let's begin with the list. Number one and the most important one for me is email marketing. I'm sure you know that. And for email marketing, I use ActiveCampaign. At this point, we pay roughly about $450 per month for ActiveCampaign. It's my favorite tool for email marketing. So that's number one. Number two, ManyChat. I'm sure you all know what ManyChat is. If you're a digital marketer, if you're not aware, go check it out. It's an amazing tool for Facebook Messenger marketing. I have been a member of ManyChat since the first day when ManyChat launched. I was one of the beta members, and it's been my favorite messenger marketing tool and generates a lot of ROI for me for my e-commerce businesses. Number three, Hotjar. I use the free version of Hotjar, but the tool is invaluable. The amount of analytics and data that you could collect, especially the heat map, it's crazy. Based on that, you could improve your conversions dramatically. You can see where people exactly click on the website, and your pages can be really high converting based on the data from Hotjar. So something I highly suggest you go add the Hotjar code on your website and try and understand what people do on your website. Number four, Google Analytics. Now, goes without saying, free tool, a great tool from Google, and I don't really need to explain why analytics is important. It is important, right? So go, if you already haven't installed analytics, go do that, because through analytics, when you run retargeting ads, it's crazy. The ROI is just crazy based on how people interact with your pages. Number five is SEO by Yoast, the premium version of the WordPress plugin. Now, I'm sure a lot of you think that I'm not a big advocate of SEO, but I am. And certain businesses, I crazily and heavily depend upon SEO. And I use the premium version of the SEO by Yoast plugin tool. Number six, I lost the count, but I think it's number six, which is Limbless. Now, I have a completely different video about Limbless. It's a great tool, especially if you run an agency. And I have the paid version of Limbless. It's a really important tool for my business, especially when it comes to dealing with clients. So really indispensable and important tool for my business in 2020. Number seven is TubeBuddy. Now, you can use vidIQ. I like TubeBuddy. Just a matter of personal choice. I use TubeBuddy. I use the paid version for my YouTube channel in a different niche, not the Marketing Nerds channel, but a different channel for an e-commerce business. That's where I use TubeBuddy heavily to rank those long-term keywords videos and get those videos at the top for those product keywords so that it generates sales, right? So TubeBuddy paid version. Next on the list is Canva. I'm sure a lot of you use Canva. Great tool. A lot of times it's a life-saving tool. When I cannot access my designer, especially at midnight, I have this idea and I want to publish something and I need a banner real quick. I don't want to go to Photoshop and do all the make it really complex. I need something really quick. My tool is Canva, and even for complex stuff, sometimes Canva is really great. So Canva is my go-to tool, and I use the pro version of Canva. The next on the list is Lipson. If you podcast, then Lipson is one of my favorite podcasting tools. Now, along with Lipson, I use the next tool. I use both of these to host different podcasts, and I like having two of each. I don't like depending on one. So I distribute my most important assets across platform, and that's why I use two platforms. But Lipson has to be my go-to podcasting platform. And I use the premium version. Of course, there's no free version for Lipson. That's what I assume. So Lipson for podcasting is my favorite tool, especially the analytics bit. And apart from Lipson, my next tool which I recommend is podcast.co. Now, I recently migrated a couple of my podcasts to podcast.co along with a couple of client podcasts, and I got a great deal on the software, and it's a great platform. I like the support from podcast.co, so I highly suggest that Lipson or podcast.co are my go-to podcasting tool for 2020 and I'm sure beyond as well. The next tool that I have in the list is, it's not a tool but a software which is really important to run my businesses, and the next one is Audition. Especially when I do a lot of audio recordings, and I recently started a new podcast which is the Karan Dharamsi podcast. So for all these audio edits, quick edits and recordings from the screen, I like using Audition. It's a great software, really simple to use, and I love the software. So Audition is my go-to software for audio recording. The next tool that I have is ClickFunnels. I use ClickFunnels to build funnels out, and it's a really cool software. You can create funnels on the go really quick, churn out a lot of great funnels. So ClickFunnels is my go-to tool, and of course I am using the paid version. It costs me about $300 a month, but highly revenue generating, and it pays for itself. So I highly suggest ClickFunnels. And while we are talking about funnels, the next tool is Thrive Themes. Yes, Thrive has been one of my favorite plugins for WordPress. They have a great landing page builder. They have a lot of amazing tools, the scarcity tool, and a lot of other tools which are especially for WordPress, and they make your life really easy. I've been a big fan of Thrive, and I highly advocate Thrive Themes to any and everybody for building funnels for your WordPress website and to improve the conversions on your website. The next one is the big daddy of e-commerce, right? If you do drop shipping, if you're in e-commerce, Shopify. You've heard of Shopify. I use Shopify. I have 3 different tools, and when I add all the additional apps and plugins that you need for Shopify, my monthly turns out to be about $120 a month, but then it's worth it. So Shopify is my go-to platform for dropshipping and e-commerce marketing. Makes life really easy, and approximately costs me about $120 a month per website. If you collect international payment, if you dropship to the US or other countries, then the best payment option that we have, and the only other point that I could think of, is PayPal. Right, so PayPal is my favorite payment collection tool for international payments, and a lot of times when our clients pay us internationally for our services, for the agency work, for building funnels, everybody prefers PayPal. Of course, now a lot of them have migrated to paying directly into the bank accounts, but majority still prefer paying via PayPal. So PayPal has been my favorite international payment processing tool. And while we are talking about payment processing, if you're collecting payments in India, I've used a lot of different merchant gateways, but PayUMoney has been a great deal for us and has worked wonders for us. So I highly advocate PayUMoney. They are the tool that we use in India, although I could do away with a little lesser transaction fee, but still given the rate of failure is so low, I am still okay going ahead with PayUMoney. So my tool for payment collection in India is PayUMoney. So while we're talking about the payment part, we pay a lot to generate traffic, we run a lot of advertising, and I can't live and think about my businesses without these platforms. It has to be Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, and Bing. We've recently started experimenting with Bing, and the results have been pretty decent. So I can't think of my life without these 5 platforms. Been advertising on TikTok a little bit, on Snapchat a little bit, but it still, in terms of ROI, especially the kind of businesses that we have, hasn't really generated a lot of revenue. I'm going to heavily test Snapchat and TikTok in the future for my e-commerce businesses, and let's hope, fingers crossed, they generate great ROI and give me alternate sources to Facebook, Google, YouTube, Bing. Oh, and while we are talking about these platforms, how can I forget LinkedIn? Right? Although I don't really advertise on LinkedIn, I use the premium account, and it's been a game changer. It's been the second highest revenue generator for our business, especially the agency, in the last year. And LinkedIn by far is my favorite platform for organic marketing, and especially generating those high ticket sales. highly recommend going premium, because it gives a very serious intent to the to your community that hey, if you're premium, you really are in the game and you are a serious contender, somebody they should consider doing business with. Well, so the next on the list is GoDaddy. For domains, hosting, I use GoDaddy. Well, I also use BigRock. They both compete, and sometimes you get great deal here and sometimes it's here. So since I keep buying a lot of domain and hosting space, I keep switching between the two wherever I get the best deal. But no complaints with both of them. They have great support, which is what I look for. And while we are talking about hosting and domain, I use WP Engine, and I pay them per month about $37 odd for secured and managed WordPress hosting. They take care of your entire hosting. It's managed, it's very safe, it's secure, and they take care of your entire website, and you don't have to really worry about the malware attack that is predominant on a WordPress website. The next tool that I cannot live without in 2020 and I cannot run my business without is the Adobe Creative Cloud. My team of designers, editors, everybody uses Adobe, and I personally sometimes go to these Adobe tools, the Photoshop, the Premiere Pro, the After Effects, sometimes when I need to do something of my own and I have that creative angle in my mind which I want to experiment with. So really can't live without the Adobe Creative Cloud, a tool, a must-have in your business, and I'm sure a lot of you already use it. So it's something that I will use it and continue to use it, God knows for how many years. The next software which I need to run my businesses in 2020 is Guru, or whatever they call it, right? Guru, right? It's a software that's used for funnel simulations, and I have a complete video on it, and it was posted recently where I showed a simulation of a funnel for my website, which is the book launch, the book club, and I showed you how I use it. It's a really must-have tool, especially if you're launching a lot of new funnels or launching a lot of new ad campaigns. The next tool that I have is Voicebody. Now, Voicebody is a really important tool for me, especially because I do a lot of drop shipping and I have a lot of international clients. So when you need those really text to voice conversions, I use Voicebody because I don't want to go to Fiverr or any other website and have that lag time where I have to wait for the audios to come back in different accents, right? Sometimes you need some American native speakers, so using Voicebody I could just put out the text and it turns out the audio in no time. It's a really handy tool to churn out great videos and great explainer videos, and especially when you're drop shipping to international countries, you could have an audio played out in their native language, the native accent. So really awesome tool, and get the pro version if you dropship. Really handy tool. The final tool that I use is Webinar Jam. I'm sure all of you know what webinars are, and my favorite tool for webinars is Webinar Jam. I also use the other product, which is Webinar, to do automated webinars, and for live webinars I use Webinar Jam. It was a long list, so I'm a little tired, but let me get back my energy. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I really haven't calculated, so the final calculation for this will be put out in the description after I do the calculation, after the video ends. Now I'm assuming it's roughly about 1.2 to 1.5 lakh rupees per month recurring, and some tools which are already paid for and I have lifetime subscription would be about another 2 lakh rupees. So all in all, that's the total expense, but I really wouldn't call it an expense. It's an investment that I need to make into my business to generate the ROI and keep growing my business month after month. And this is only a small part of the investment to run the business. There's the advertising, there's the people who work for me to pay the team, and then there's the admin costs, and then the accounting, the taxation. It's a whole lot of different costs that are involved to run the business, but these are the tools, 25 really important tools. I'm sure I missed a few, but this is the list that I could remember offhand, and I thought I'd share with you so that you could take advantage and use the tools that you feel fill the needs in your business and could help you skyrocket and grow your business in 2020. This is me, Karan, signing off for today. Make sure to hit the subscribe button.